there, Save Victorol. How's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. It is another video from your older than average YouTuber here on the YouTubes. Today we are going to be playing with some what I would call more bougie makeup or more everyday makeup or makeup that is easier to get because you can usually get it at Sephora or a department store. So if you want to see the makeup products that we use, listen to my bird tweet, and see the look that we create, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. So we're ready for some bougie makeup, some Sephora drugstore style makeup. Generally, I'm an indie gal. As we all know, the majority of products I buy are indie, small brand, that sort of thing. There's not a lot that I buy through Sephora, sometimes foundations and a few other things. But for the most part, I stick to a lot of indie stuff. So I thought, okay, I guess it's kind of confession time. So last year, maybe even a year and a half ago now, I did a comparison between the Danessa Myricks new Yummy Skin Balm, and I compared it to one by Shein's makeup brand. And I loved both, but I found that Shein was definitely more full on, and the Danessa Myricks was more of a light coverage. I mean, you could build it up, but it was a really nice light coverage. So I've been using my Shein for a bit again, and a little goes a long way. And then a month or so back, I was in Sephora with a friend, and I just happened to fall in and picked up another one. I didn't think I would because they are expensive. I think it's like $56 Canadian, somewhere in there, which is ridiculous for a foundation that, you know, can technically go pretty quickly. But I remember loving it so much. So I want to see, do I still love it? And while I was there, because I was deciding that I was originally not going to buy this, when these came out, the Flushed Yummy Skin blushes, I wasn't going to get one, but since I was holding this in my hand and I saw that they had the Bellini shade in, I thought, okay. So they've been sitting for about a month or so in my ready to use basket, and I was thinking, oh, what can I use these for? Should I just use them for day to day, or did I want to do a video? And I decided, you know what, let's do a video. Let's play with as much kind of Sephora makeup that I have and see if I still love it. Do I still love this? Am I gonna love this? And I've got some other things like Charlotte Tilbury and stuff that I haven't used in a while, so let's see if we still love it. So I tried to pick everything as high end as possible, or what you would consider a bougie. There's a few things, like my favorite setting spray of all time is the Charlotte Tilbury, but I go through so much, I cannot condone like $50 something for the big setting spray. Like, I cannot. And I do like a few different primers, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stick to the ones that I've already got open in cases like this. So for primer, we're going to be using a favorite right now, which is ZZ. This is a little bit more higher end for sure. I got this in an ice cream box. I will rebuy it. I like it a lot. So it is a little bit more on the pricey scale. So I thought that was okay that we could use that. I think everything I've got here is pretty much at least Sephora brand and not like drugstore pricing for the most part. So I thought we could start with this. Now this one is to help with redness, and I just like the feel of it. Normally I like the ones that are silicone-y. My favorite is Time Balm by The Balm, which I got that in an ice cream box. Let me tell you how excited I was to get that. So I can't wait to use it, but I'm going to use some other ones first. And I do like this one a lot, but that one is a more silicone based. Well, this is a more creamier one, but it does help a little bit with the redness. And of course, as you can tell, we're filming, so there is Miss Willow in the background. I think we went back a few steps. She was not happy when I cleaned the cage last Sunday. The first time we cleaned the cage, I thought we did better, but the second time just freaked her out for some whatever weird reason. So there we go. We've got some primer. Oh, I forgot to bring an eyebrow pencil, so we'll have to grab one of those later. But that's farther down the pike. Okay, so from the Yummy Skin Balm, I got it in the shade number 1. That was the same shade that I got last time. Oh, I thought I had opened this up in advance, but it's okay. There we go. And it comes in this beautiful packaging here. It comes with a little scoop. so that you can scoop the product out and then it fits nicely back in there, but I do not scoop the product out. So there we go. This is the balm there. I mean, again, for something that is really expensive, and I think this pretty much has the close same amount. Maybe the Shein might have a little bit more, but it does last for quite a bit. So I think that was probably one of the reasons why I was like, okay, let's do it one more time and see if we remember that we love it as much. It's made with that, is it Upsolite? Something like Upsolite from Sweden. That's supposed to help stop oily skin. I don't have oily skin, I have normal skin, but in the summer it is really nice to have a lighter balm style foundation on. And like I said, I've been using the Shein one the last little bit, wore it to work the other day, and it's like, you know, I think that's great for filming or for nighttime, but I thought it was a little heavy for during the day. So wanted to see if I remember this being as light as it was, that I could enjoy wearing this one more when it's hot. And as you can see, it's going on super lovely. I can't remember, I'd have to look at my old video, because I did try using it via instructions, because I think they said brush was best, and I've heard different things. But as with everything, I just find that using a damp sponge has been my go-to. I used to really be a brush gal, I thought, but I think it was more the old school foundation I was using. But the last few years with foundation, a nice, not too damp, I noticed that I was on my own doing makeup, not filming, and I used too damp of a sponge. It took a little way more work, but a totally damp sponge goes really nice. I didn't bring any eye primer. I don't have any Boujee eye primer, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this on our lids as well. Looking at it up close here, yeah, it looks beautiful. It looks like I remember it being. There is a shade lighter than this, but I think it's like a clear balm, and it's just, again, supposed to help with you can use it more as a primer, I guess. You could even use that and then this on top, but I thought $100 for a primer and foundation. But it's more for those who just want to be able to not have a sweaty face but not wear any color. So there we go. It looks just as nice as I remember. Again, it's not really going to cover all my age spots or whatever, but I think it's done pretty good between that and the ZZ to even everything out. So it is as I remember, and it will go a long way. Like you can see, I dipped it in here and I barely smudged it, and it covered my whole face. So again, if this was something that you were wanting to and you still haven't tried it, yeah, it's gonna go. It's like I said, it's still expensive, but it's not something that you're gonna use in 30 days unless you're really super heavy-handed, that you're gonna be buying this every month. So you're okay. Okay, so now so for another thing on Boujee, and this one is another thing that I've loved. This is, I got so many last year and I had already bought a refill, and it's the Charlotte Tilbury. So the refill had been sitting around for a bit, and then I noticed I broke it. So I thought, I'm gonna have to start using this because it does have a crack in there. It's not that thing's fault, it's my fault. But I thought we could use my Boujee Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. The price is actually not too bad for the refill, and it does last for quite a while, and it is my perfect shade of bronzer. I really do like it a lot, so I'm excited to have it back in. I don't use a lot of bronzers, but this was one of the first ones I had panned in quite a while at the time when I got this, because it is the perfect shade for me. Some of the other ones I have to do like super light, like light hand, and other ones are need too much building. But this one I can just nicely just put on and not worry about it being too much. As you can see it goes on super nicely. So I have missed using this one, but I've been using my Nomad Cosmetics. I have a couple other ones that are open, so I really shouldn't have been opening this one. But because I noticed that there was a crack in there, I thought Okay, let's start using it. And powder products last a long time, so I'm usually not too worried. Oh, I think that looks good. Just use it more to make it look like I have a little bit more cheekbone than I do. So I forgot a eyebrow gel, so I'm gonna go quickly grab that. The brows are done. I just quickly used my Makeup Geek brow pencil. Can't get it anymore because Makeup Geek as a makeup brand doesn't exist, though I hear rumblings of things, but anywho, there we are. That's done with that. So now we can go with something new that I've never tried before. This is the Yummy Skin, there's more to this name, Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder Flushed. And this is in the shade Bellini, or maybe it's Flushed Yummy Skin Blurring Blush Powder. I think that sounds better. So I got it in this. There was 2 shades that I liked, but one was sold out. And then this one was I would say the second favorite. So I thought this was cool. The other one was more orangey than that, but this looks really nice. So I have been really, like I said, I really liked that balm. You can see it's kind of matching packaging. I think that's the whole Yummy Skin line. I think this is also with Upsolite, if I remember right. Yeah, it smells the same, so I'm gonna say yes, it does. Does it say on back? Yes, it does. Upsolite, yes. So the Yummy Skin, and then it says powder, but it's a balm. So let's just pop some with our finger onto our hand. And it's just a light, blushy balm. These, I also like to use a sponge. I wash these every day, so I just, once after I use my makeup, I just use this to do my cream blushes. And let's see. Now, I think Teresa Mulhern bought a few of them, if not all of them, and because she's a Denisa Myrick stan, and I believe she really liked them. I'm gonna grab some more. This is something that looks like it needs to be buildable, but this is definitely a nice for summer. What is that? Clean girl aesthetic. So if you wanted to do just a this base and then a teeny bit of blush, mascara, brows, and a lip gloss, I think you could totally do the clean girl aesthetic with this. Okay, so this is just, here you go, you can see it a little bit more. But I want to see if I can build it up a little bit, so I'm going to grab a little on the nose. Yeah, it's bright. It's a lot brighter in person. Yeah, I definitely get, it's way buildable, and you definitely get way more flush. You're seeing it a little bit here, but it's way, well, there we go. Now we can see away from the brighter lights how much it is. I will buff, so we will, as always, get that a little bit softer. There we go. I normally set my base and then do all the other things, but with this product, I find that it's better just to do the one, so I'm just going to leave that for the buff. So there we go. That is highlighter. Where I bought this, it was part of a Christmas collection. It's probably quite a few years ago now. This is the Magic Star highlighter. And yes, I'm doing base and everything first. Normally I do my eyes first, but here we are. It is a very golds, but so normally I would classify it as too dark. I didn't return it because I did like the packaging. So I'm gonna try and see if we can, it's been a long time since I've used this. I'm bad. I mean, I used it enough in the beginning that some of the design is out of it. So, but let's see if we can gently add. Yeah, there we go, that worked. So it's usable. Alrighty, I guess it would be really nice on somebody that's super tanned. I think that would look really, really nice. Okay, so for powders, we are going to use a Fenty Beauty. This is probably as bougie as I've gotten in powders. I've tried a few other ones where I've gotten samples of, like everybody loves the Laura Mercier one. It's fine. I have a sample of By Terry. Don't like it. It's still kicking around somewhere. But this one is one of my favorite. It's one of the few things that I still repurchase at Sephora. Even though I've been trying the Nikia Joy, and I really like that one as well. This one, it's just that much better, but that was pretty nice too. So again, I always put that on the powder. Oh, okay, that's usually when I set it. Okay, well, That's what I get for doing things out of order. Actually, it's to put it on the forehead. So we'll just do the old school way for it because I want to buff. So usually you use a brush for that. So, but let's actually just set our forehead and our chin using the sponge. There we go. And then we're going to take our big fluffy brush. This one is from Lois Cosmetics. I really like this. And then we're going to go. Okay, so the one thing when I was thinking that I was going to do a video of Boujee brands, I got rid of a lot of my Sephora style makeup palettes. I mean, things like the old Urban Decay ones, I used them up years ago or used the shades that I liked and got rid of them. So I don't buy a lot of shadows at Sephora. I did get one of the bigger palettes from Natasha Denona. I liked it. It was a fine palette. It just wasn't a great palette. And then I've had a few from Pat McGrath. They were okay. Got rid of those as well. But the one thing that I did keep that's kind of in the Boujee that I really like is Natasha Denona. I really liked this black and silvery gray palette. It is amazing. I did a video duping this one with one from Wet n Wild or something. But anyways, I really do like this. I was glad that I bought this. And then I was gifted this one. And I think this is the one we're going to do today because it's a summery day. And this is the Fez palette. Yeah, 5-shade eyeshadow palette. When I got it, it came with, unfortunately, with a few broken shades. These two shades broke, but the quality is beautiful. I really like this, so I thought we would play with that today. And then because we've got a neutrally peachy colored blush on, I thought this might be the right colors for today. So we're going to do since we're doing more Boujee makeup, we're going to do a more everyday makeup look, I think. Okay, so we're going to go into the last shade that's in here that was broken. The names are on there. Let's see if I can get it out. Ooh, maybe I'm thinking this is a shade that's called Mindful. So I'm just going to use this to set our little bit of foundation that we used instead of a primer. Then we're going to take the darkest shade in here, and I'm going to think that this one is called, oh no, maybe this one's Mindful and the other one was Morning. Okay, so Morning and Mindful are the two shades that I've used. Hi, Annie. It's almost her lunchtime, so she is letting me know. All right, then we're gonna go back again into that darkest shade in the palette. Alrighty, there we go. We have first two shades used. And then I want that little pop of blue in the center, I think. So I'm going to, in the front end, add a little bit of the orangey shade there. Okay. Either a super dark yellow or an orangey shade. To just do that out there. There is a shimmer in this palette, but I had also brought out a Huda Beauty 1-2, but I think we'll end up using the shimmer that's in here. So I can for sure know the name of the shade in the middle because it's in the middle. So it is Carnelian. Okay. I was watching a declutter. That's how I remembered that I had these ones. That was right. I was watching Alexis Kate. She was doing her declutters, and she was decluttering some of these little ones. And I'm like, that's a brand that I still have that I can use for doing something Boujee. Alrighty, so that's that there. Oh, perfect. And then we're gonna go into the blue shade. We're gonna use every shade in this palette. So there you go. We know the colors we've used, all of them. So I'm going to take another kind of flat brush there. This one is so pretty, and then pack that in, but then be. Hi, Annie. Okay, so I kind of finessed that where I want it. I'm going to go back into that middle shade again. I'm just going to go over the top like so. So for the bottom lash line, I'm just going to go into the dark brown shade again and just use that. Okay, I think that's okay. We're probably going to use a little liner though. And then lastly, we're going to use that shimmer that's in there. So it's that gold shimmer. And then I'm just going to place that in the inner corner. Yeah, that's super pretty. Okay, that's pretty. So I'm going to go and put on some liner and then we'll be right back. There we go, just a little bit of liner on. I quickly just did my bangs. We can pretend that I used a Boujee setting spray, but it's just my Rude Cosmetics. So, last few things of Boujee. So I had run out of my favorite mascara and I had some of these samples still left from one of my last Charlotte Tilbury orders. So we're going to use some Charlotte Tilbury mascara. I really like this mascara. It's just, I cannot be arsed to spend that much money on a mascara when the Essence Lash Princess for $4 or $5.99, I think it might be $5.99 now, does the trick. So why? Well, I mean, if you have the money and you want to spend it, of course, go ahead. Or you've got Sephora points, or it's on the sale. It's a beautiful mascara. It's just like I said, if you can get a good one for $5, so not going to be paying 25, 26, 27, whatever this is now. So there we go, just a little bit of mascara. I'm not going to do lashes today because it's hot. All right, so last thing we've got here in the Boujee train is some lips. So I had picked one of my favorite Charlotte Tilburys. And this is in the shade Mrs. Kisses. And it is that shade there. And then I couldn't find, I have two lip liners from Charlotte Tilbury. One's a red one because most of the lipsticks I do have from her are red. But I have the, so funny, I can't remember, but that pink that she's most known for. So instead we are going to use one from Melt, and this is in the shade, I don't know, this one. Because you can get, or you could get Melt at Sephora. I don't know if you can anymore. Sephora. That's the other reason why I've stopped shopping at Sephora is so many things you can't even get anymore. Like brands you can't get anymore. And again, because I'm such an indie gal. There we go. So just line the lip a little bit. And then some Mrs. Kisses. And there we go. Some Mrs. Kisses. I didn't have anything in my more expensive or Sephora type lipsticks that was the right shade of orangey pink, so I thought a neutral would be the way to go. So there we go. There is our, we'll put these in here as well, our basket of Sephora department store more Boujee makeup. This is the look that we created. Fighting with my hair. It's supposed to be caves, not tunnels, but it keeps wanting to make a tunnel. What can we do? Just doing my bangs. Alrighty, so there we go. That's our look. If you like this video, please give it a like, a comment, and subscribe, and maybe even hit that notification bell. If not, that's okay. We can still be friends and see if we still like Sephora style of makeup. As always, behave, make good choices, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.